All right, welcome everybody to baseball, Hobbs baseball, right here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I do apologize about the picture. It's the best we could do on this one, but nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and continue on and move forward as this is the last game of the season for the Hobbs Eagles as well as for the Carlsbad Cavemen, who have been champions of the district for the last 4 seasons in a row. And they are hard to beat. Of course, 20-5 for their record. Got 5-0 on the district. 10-game winning streak is what they've got to deal up with tonight, and 13-1. So they're only lost one time at home. Tough to beat here, as head coach Mike Magaha is going to lead his team once again. And I remember last year we were here, and I thought maybe because they'd already clinched the district, they were going to let up a little bit. Hobbs was here, I believe, for a double header, and nevertheless, so fought it out, both of those, won those, and continued their streak. Right now, they have their winning streak of 6 in a row against this Hobbs Eagles team. But it's comforting to know that the last time there was another district champion besides Carlsbad, it was, of course, the Hobbs Eagles. But suffering from well, maybe not suffering, I shouldn't say that, but they do have the record of 8-17. I'm sure they're still having fun out there, as this is a game, and you learn a lot from a sport like this, especially when you have a great team like the Hobbs Eagles do this season. But Marco Boyle, who's in his 18th season, just is happy about the fact that at least they have more runs for them than against them. But it's very close, 201 4 on the runs, and 198 against. 0-7 though on the road. So this is going to be a one game, as we had discussed with Ty as well. Ty, who I'm taking over, by the way, for today. My name is Ron Gunner. Thank you much for being here. It was voted on at the end of the season last year that they wanted to go ahead and just do 1-1s instead of 1-2, and they thought that would be a little more fair. Now, of course, also that means these games count for more, and maybe even a shorter season as well, as there's not as many games sometimes. I know a lot of these teams had troubles just getting games to go on the schedule, but for the most part, yeah, it is going to be a 1-1. We've already had a game yesterday. In fact, actually both teams pretty much coming off on the same thing. Carlsbad was able to get that win 6-0, and if you remember from yesterday, first inning was saw Carlsbad get in the lead first, 2-0, and then second inning, nobody scored on that one. Third inning, though, it was Carlsbad coming back with just one run to make it 3-0. At the bottom of the third, Hobbs wasn't able to get anything going either. Fourth inning, both of those were goose egg. Fifth inning saw Carlsbad with 2 come across on the home plate and Hobbs. And the bottom of the fifth, it was no score for Hobbs. They were able to keep it close, though, as it continued on. So it stayed under the mercy rule until the sixth inning, and that was 1 run for Carlsbad. Hobbs could not score once again. And the seventh inning, it was blank on both sides, and that's how it ended. Carlsbad had 6 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Meanwhile, Hobbs didn't get any runs across, but did get 4 hits and 4 errors as well. So looking at the standings, it is Carlsbad, of course, again, number 1 with 5-0 in the district. Clovis and Hobbs tied for second, and of course, Clovis is going to be playing Roswell. Roswell right now sitting at 1-4 at the bottom of the district. And it has been just low scoring for everybody but Carlsbad. Carlsbad has had 38 runs for the district play and only allowed 5. And that one of the reasons why is because they had that win against Hobbs with a blank. Now they've also played against Carlsbad. That was away to start off the district. Score was 9-4, and I think that was the best score against Carlsbad in this district season. As Clovis came back for the second game, it was blanked in mercy rule, 10-0. Then after that, it was Roswell who faced him and just could not do any better. 6-0 was the first one. Hey, deja vu as far as the score goes, and Hobbs had that one as well, of course, as you remember. Then came back, went over to Roswell, and won that one by a score of 7-1. So that's what Carlsbad's looking at right now as far as the season. Looks like they're going to be, well, they're ranked number 4 right now. They could move up a little bit more, but probably not as much with the strength of the schedule right now. It's going to be, they're at 12.2, and the Cleveland team, which is just one above, has a strength of schedule of 16-2, even though they've got the record of 18-7. So those factors will factor in. It could be that either that or maybe even Rio Rancho. but they have a stronger strength of schedule at 15.7. They have the record of 18-6. So not always just because you have more wins than losses against a team doesn't mean guarantee that you're going to be ahead of them in the rankings. We're going to go ahead and pause for a moment as actually, you know what, we're going to go ahead and get the lineups. Get that one up for you. And we're going to start off with Carlsbad.
Number 3, Alan Utahara.
As we get the lineup from the announcer for Hobbs,
Number 10, Chase Brister.
we're going to go ahead and do Carlsbad's lineup.
Number 12, Hayden Leeper.
So at first, the pitcher is going to be Alan Quintilla. He is Aiden Quintilla. He is going to be number 1, of course. Actually, that is 15, number 15. And the catcher is going to be Jaden Carter, 14. And just to verify on that one, Jaden Carter is a junior, and Aiden is a senior. He's going to be pitching right-handed pitcher. He also plays the infield as well. So coming up to play first is going to be Jonas Molinar. Molinar actually is a junior, and he is going to be catching, like I said. Then we've got, actually no, he'll be playing first, that's right. Second base is going to be covered by Anthony Hernandez, number 7, and that is a sophomore. Followed by that will be third base, and that'll be covered by Wade Kozit. And Wade is going to be a freshman this year. So the shortstop is going to be played by Lopez, and it'll be Eloy Lopez, junior. And from left to right, it'll be on the field. That'll be Gus Risher. Gus Risher is, oh, there he is, a senior. Center field is going to be played by Garrett Fuentes. We'll have 2 Fuenteses out on the field at some point, I am sure. Fuentes is a senior, so it's his night as well. Remember, we have senior night after the game for the Carlsbad Cavemen. Also on right field, it's going to be Richie Herrera. Richie is going to be, he is a junior. So for Hobbs, let's go ahead and get that lineup real quick before we get the national anthem. First base is going to be covered, pitching is going to be for, let's see, that is Jackson Gaston. Followed by the catcher, who is Jaden Hernandez. Cole Kesner at first. It'll be second, it's going to be Christian Montez, who's going to be batting second. Followed by Tristan Montez on third. Be Jason Fuentes at short. And from left to right, it is going to be Carson Phillips, left field. Center field is going to be Luke Parrish. And right field is going to be provided by, actually no, that is right field. Right field is Luke Parrish. And center is going to be Juan Camacho. So we've got the lineups for both those. We're about to get the national anthem. We'll pause for a moment, and we are going to get Carlsbad action right here in Carlsbad as they host your Hobbs Eagles, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on Cool 95.7 on the Facebook page. All right, welcome back to the action as we're about to get underway right here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. It'll be number four actually, number 4 Carlsbad Cavemen versus the number 18 Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs Eagles coming in at 8-17. They have a 2-3 record on district. Would like to get to 500 in district, or at very least just get the last win of the season as well. 0-7 though on the roads. So it is a lot of factors against them. Just like the view right now, it's been obstructed. It's also going to be obstructed right here in Carlsbad as we are trying to get at least one more victory. Now we've been so far we've been successful in splitting the series of the district. First two, of course, that was Clovis and Roswell, or Roswell and Clovis, I should say, if I want to do it in order of appearance. So yeah, first one, Roswell was wasn't able to get that first victory, but they got the second victory against Hobbs. And then Clovis won theirs at home and then lost on the road in Hobbs. It looks like we're going to get some dirt blowing in as well as we're about to get this thing started. That was one of the factors. Of course, that also could be somebody just driving along the dirt. Hopefully it is, because that is something that has been kind of a concern. In fact, that's the reason why they're playing it today instead of Friday, because of weather problems. They did not want to have to deal with that as far as, bad weather. So instead of having it on Friday like they had originally planned, they're going to go ahead and have it today to make sure that it is okay. But yeah, the weather, of course, has a mind of its own basically, and pretty much will not bow down to us as far as whenever we want to play the game. So we got to play it when we can, and that's pretty much what we're going to do. So as we get into it, looks like we're a little late on the start, but that's all right. As, like I said, afterwards, they're going to go ahead and have the situation for the seniors. Speaking of which, I know they had seniors night yesterday in Hobbs, and let's go ahead once again and honor those seniors, starting with Jackson Gadsden, senior, along with Christian Montez, senior as well, of course. All these are seniors that I'm mentioning. Don't have as many. This is a rather young team, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they've kind of struggled a little bit to get the wins. So yeah, I see 2 seniors, so that is the 2 that we honored. We're going to go ahead and get underway as the first one coming up is going to be Juan Camacho. Juan had that's the first one goes across for the ball for the strike as it goes fast ball across the plate. So we'll call this as best we can with the sight we can see. As that one is swung on and missed, strike 2. We'll get underway with the score bug. No, score. Not going to bug you about that. It goes across, and that'll be strike 3 as he watched it going across, did not swing at it. And unfortunately, 3 throws, and it's already the first strikeout for Hobbs. Out number 1 as Camacho goes back. So next up is going to be Montez, Christian Montez, senior. He was walked one time yesterday and had a fielder's choice, got on base. Was left on base though one time. So first one goes across for the ball. Inside, and it will not catch the corner, so that'll be ball number 2. It's kind of like radio, isn't it? Just with a pitcher. Well, I think you can see. So swung on that one, missed it. It does get fouled, but still nevertheless will count as a strike. So 2-1 is the count right now as we get this thing started. So 2-1, and of course Hobbs in the black, and in the blue will be the Carlsbad Cavemen. Going to 3-1 now for the count. Montez, though, going to be playing second base on the defense. Let's see what we can do with this delivery. That was me high, and it'll be ball 4, so that'll be the walk. First walk issued of the game. We'll take Montez over to first. So already with 1 out, but 1 on. We are in the top of the first right now, and Hobbs coming up next with Jaden Hernandez. I've been calling a couple of games for Hobbs, and I've noticed that they've had a pretty good opportunity once their bats get hot. Sometimes when they take those chances, that's when they get explosive. So maybe that's what's going to happen right now. It's Riley Hernandez, the junior. Nope, sorry, that's the wrong side. Jane Hernandez. Jane hits it already, and it goes over to, turn for a double play. So it'll be the 5, 4, 3, as we seem like we're counting down. But nevertheless, so second out will be at second, as he's out running to it for Montez. Hernandez unable to get to first in time for the third out. So basically one hit is what I should say. Actually, no, there wasn't a hit because that was a walk. So let's try that again. No hits, no walks, no errors, nobody left on base. As we go to the bottom of the first, it's going to be Carlsbad up at bat to see if they can continue their streak of 10. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on Cool 95.7. All right, getting that pitcher to do as best as we can with the limited accessibility, and we will be back underway as it is going to be Hobbs throwing. It'll be
To the first for Caven. Number 3,
on the mound.
Eloy Lopez.
Once again on the mound, it's going to be Jackson Gaston, pitcher and third base. So it'll be first coming up. Will be Eloy Lopez, shortstop. First one comes across a little high, and it's going to be a ball. So ball one. Goes across, and that'll be a strike as it goes into the zone. So 1-1 is the count. We've got Kesner at first, Montez at second, Fuentes shortstop, as that one is hit foul to the right. And all of a sudden we've got a count of 1 and 2, and it is Jackson Gaston who is ahead of the count. Also going to be Montez, going to be at third. That's Montez with a Z. This one's going to go to the left. And as we dropped, unfortunately, that was by Phillips, as Carson Phillips wasn't able to handle that one, and it goes to second for an E7.
Brings up your center fielder, number 12, Garrett Fuentes.
So a second one on base already, and unfortunately, like I said, unable to handle that one, of course. And again, maybe the sophomore just could not line it up. I don't know. Couldn't really see it. All I know is he just wasn't able to catch it. So does allow a runner at second. Coming up next is going to be the pitcher, I believe. No, that is number 12. Let me see if I've got that. Oh, that's right. First one low. Actually, the second one low for the ball, too. So that is Garrett Fuentes. And that one's going to be, looks like the ball 3. So 3-0. So 3-0 on the count for Fuentes. And that's going to be ball 4, a walk. as that gets Fuentes to second. Now puts them on the corners,
Pitcher number 15,
first and
Hayden
third.
Quintela.
Oh, and that's where it went to. Okay, so we'll fix that real quick, as it is going to be the pitcher, Hayden Quintela, coming up next. See what he can do with the bat, as I'm sure he's going to be pretty good on the delivery. So no outs, so 2 on, and he hits this one quickly as it goes into the right field. And we'll get an RBI single off of that one, as it does score Fuentes.
That's it for a single. 1-run score.
So that will be putting Quintela at first, and
Brings up your left fielder, number 8.
Fuentes at second. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Man, oh man. So coming up next should be T. Collins.
Number 25, Connor Robertson.
Well, actually, it's me, Connor Robinson. Maybe that's where I'm missing. So Connor Robinson coming up next. He's the catcher. First one's going to be a fastball. And unfortunately, a double steal.
Double steal.
Advances the runners. Now that is Quintino at third. Another bad throw, but will be kept from getting a wild throw. Meanwhile, 2-0 for the count. So that should be a ball 3, and unfortunately it could load the bases up. If it is, continues to be another ball call. So 3-0 is the count right now. Man on second and third, and that is going to go ahead and walk it. Unfortunately, and already Carlsbad in the driver's seat right now, as they have 1 run in. Get that on. And bases loaded. Actually, they've got 2 runs come across. That's right. I believe. Nope, sorry, that's 2 hits. So 1 run for Carlsbad so far, but coming up next is going to be best pitcher we can get for this, and already 1-0. Can I read his? It's blue and white, and I can't seem to read it for some reason. So it looks like that is going to be Wade Kozert. But right now, Wade is at 2-0 for the count. That one goes down the pike for the strike on that one. Strike 1. Nicely done, as it is 2-1. Strike 2 on that one as well. Went across the pike for the strike, so no swing on that one, and it gets to 2-2. So once again, Jackson Gaston setting up. And that is going to be actually number 11 for Tanner Collins. Collins is going to hit that one, and it's going to be the DH. But an out on that one, as Tanner Collins hits it to
Runners at the corners brings up your third baseman, number 10, Wade Kozart.
Okay, so we're off on that, a 1. Wade Kosert's comes up next, as it was a blooper that got it out number 1 from the fielder, I believe caught by the left fielder. And we're going to go to Wade Kosert, as that was T. Collins with the first out. But did get an RBI off the sacrifice fly. So 2 on, 1 out, and it is once again Wade Kosert to come in. And as we get that delivery, it's going to be 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Comes across, and that's going to find the bottom for the strike. Nicely done, as Jackson Gadsden is starting to get his rhythm a little bit against this hot Carlsbad team. So 1-2. And that'll be strike 3, and that'll be the first strikeout for the game, second out for Carlsbad. So number 9 coming up next, Jonas Molnar. We'll see what he can do with the bat. Still 2 on, but 2 outs. First one goes across, nicely done as it hits the strike zone, strike number 1. Gaston, though, getting on fire right now, but so far 2 have come across. That one's a little wide and will be luckily caught by the catcher. That is going to be Jane Hernandez. He is good on his feet and is always able to protect his pitcher as well as the team without those grabs. There could be a little bit more troubles with those wild pitches. Comes across, though. That'll be across, but not in the zone, so that'll be a count of 2-0. Or 2-1. So Molnar set. Gaston delivers inside, and man, that is a nice one as it is strike number 2. Once again, could have been hard to swing against because it would have been the smaller part of the bat. Nonetheless, strike 2. 2-2 is the count right now. Comes up with a ball, loads it up for a full count of 3-2. So Molnar still trying to get something going. And coming up next after Molnar, if they still have it, is Jaden Carter. And unfortunately that misses the corner on that one, ball 4, and walks and will load the bases once again. So that means that Robinson is at third, and actually, let's see. Oh, that's right. I wrote the wrong. There we go. Gus Risher is at third. So Risher at third as we get the miss from Jaden Carter on that one. As that first one goes across for a strike. And a swing, and it's going to be a blooper, and it will be foul, as it was started off fair, but then rolled to the left and fouled. So we have a, looks like a designated runner over there, Connor Robertson. Actually, no. I thought he'd already scored, but I guess not. That was, no, we'll figure that out. Check swing on that one is going to ring up strike 2. Count right now at 1-2 against Carter. Didn't quite catch the corner on that one, so the count will go down to 2-2. So the right fielder facing against Jackson Gaston has another opportunity. Will be outside, and that'll put a full count once again, this time for Carter, as Hernandez is able to keep that one from going beyond his glove. 2 outs, everybody on, or bases loaded, and that goes across for a strike. Strike 3, second one of the game, and perfect timing as that's going to leave the bases loaded and put 2 across as we get this thing started, just like yesterday, actually, as it was 2-0 at the bottom of the first. So let's see, we had an error. Unfortunately, we also had a couple of walks. It appears like no hits. So no hits, 3 left on base, 1 error, and 2 come across for the Carlsbad Cavemen. We're going to go to the top of the second inning. 2-0. Hobbs is in a hole, but they can get out of it. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here in Carlsbad. We'll be on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. We're also on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. All right, we are back to action as first batter up for Hobbs is ready to go in the top of the second. It is the pitcher, Jackson Gaston, who's going to try to help his own cause as well as he gets underway. Cantia is on the mound, going to throw for Carlsbad. First one's going to go across, get hit to shortstop, and doesn't look like he's trying to run fast enough to get to it, and does get caught at first with the first out. Nevertheless, though, first out for Hobbs as we're in the top of the second. Coming up next is going to be Cole Kesner. Kesner's had some hot bats, and let's see what he can do with this one for the first time up, as he is again on first for the defense. Expect that just inside, but did catch the zone for a strike. 1-1 is the count right now, just a little inside, didn't want to swing on that one. Goes outside, does swing it, catches the bat just barely, and is he going to be able to leg it out in time? No, he is not. Just barely missed it, as that was a 5-1. Looks like the pitcher actually ran over there to help out with the cause, as it was the second baseman who was able to go over there and get the ball for the second out after that one. So a 4-1 actually is what it really would be, and the second out. So coming up next is going to be Jason Fuentes, the shortstop. First one is going to be right across the pike for a strike, and that was a no swing on Jason, as you can see, hopefully. Fuentes, though, 1-1. And that is going to be just across, did not make it past, or got past the zone, and would be the ball call. So 1-1 is the call. It's a nice little afternoon game inside, and that's definitely going to be ball 2. Close enough to be a hit, but not quite, as he probably could just feel the ball whiz by. 2-1 is the count right now. It finds the inside corner for a strike and evens it up at 2. again, hard to get those inside balls. Unless you back up a little bit, you can be able to get it. And of course, he is all the way on the edge of the batter's box. I was going to say boxer's bat. But now that will load it up with 3 and 2 for the full count. As that one goes across, couldn't find the zone. So, ball 4 on that one will walk Fuentes, and Jason's going to take his base at first. But with 2 outs, it's going to take some work to be able to get the runners to get to home. And it'll be Tristan Montez playing third base to be able to try to see what he can do with the bat. Montez is a lefty. So we'll see what he does in his first offering, and that's going to be low for ball 1. So we still have crowd coming in, looks like, and still, though, top of the second. 1 on, 2 outs. That one goes across and inside, and so he's able to switch it up a little bit to make it the inside corner for strike 1. So 1-1 is the count. So looking at Carter for that call. Going to go ahead and throw it back to first. And not in time. So safe is the runner. Of course, that is going to be Fuentes, Jason Fuentes, who does have some wheels on him. He can steal a base if he wants to, but did not that time. So once again, 1-1 is the count. Back to the batter. And Carter with the call. Here is the pitch. And it's going to be outside. I think they were going to try to see if the runner would try to break for second. Was a perfect throw for that if it was. Otherwise, a little outside for ball 2. 2-1 is the count right now. 2 outs, 1 on, and top of the second. Hobbs trying to get back into the winning side of things. And that one's inside. And going to be low and outside for, I should say, for ball 3. So 3-1 is the count right now. Possibility of getting a second runner on. But with a 2-0 lead for Carlsbad, Hobbs needs every opportunity they can. That's one of the reasons why they may have lost last night. They just couldn't take advantage of those opportunities, and they made too many mistakes. And that fastball goes down the middle with a foul ball, so it'll be going back to the backstop and causes it to be full count once again at 3-2. I believe that's like the 3rd time it has happened for Hobbs. Well, no, actually that's the 2nd. So full count 3-2. Gets back into the box. Would love to get something going, otherwise swung on, and that's going to be fouled. Couldn't tell if it actually hit him or not. May have, but either way, it went foul after it rolled and hit the ground. So same count, 3-2. And we're going to see what can be done now, as Luke Parrish is next if he's able to get that bat to go. So back to it once again, and still 3-2. And the delivery, here we go, inside. Oh, he did get the corner somehow, as it was Fuentes who backed up. Not Fuentes, it was Montez who backed up a little bit. Thought it was going to be a ball, but instead got the third strike. That'll be out number 3 as well. So unfortunately, that leaves 2 on base. No errors. Nobody comes across for a run, and it is no hits on that one. So we go to the bottom of the second with a 2-0 lead for Carlsbad. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7's Facebook page, YouTube, and on HobbsAmerica.com. All right, we are back as Richie Herrera is getting up to bat. He is the right fielder in this game. We have Jackson Gadsden on the mound to deliver the first pitch in this bottom of the second. Thank you, everybody, for being here as we continue coverage. Last game of the season for the Hobbs Eagles as that first one goes across for a ball. So senior night for Carlsbad, senior night last night for Hobbs, as that one is hit. Foul, though, to the right, out of play, and will be 1-1 for the call. So a nice day, sunny. It looks like no clouds so far, and the wind blowing from right to left on your screen. Swing on that one, and just enough. I don't know if it was a swing check or not, but nevertheless, though, it'll be called strike. Strike number 2. So behind the count right now is going to be Ricky Herrera. And that slider is going to go across. Didn't catch anything. And we'll even it up at 2. First batter up for the bottom of the second. As we get the next delivery. Hit again, foul, just not quite connecting at it. As it does so, doesn't change the count. 2-2 will continue on. Looks like we'll be going to the top of the order here in a moment. As Lopez is on the circle. Now one's going to be fouled as well. Go back. He is protecting the plate, just not able to get it to go forward. So once again, it's this one and fouled, and will be out of play. Thought there was a chance he could be able to catch it, but instead does drift off beyond the fence. So with 2-2 count we've got, and another delivery from. Oh, and that's going to go over his head. I thought it was going to hit him for a second, but he was able to get out of the way, luckily. As Jackson just lost the grip on that one, and it will be a full count. So 3-2 once again. Here we go with another front one. Oh, it didn't quite make it to the zone as that one goes for another walk and puts Herrera at first. So man on first, top of the order now, Eloy Lopez coming up next. He had that's right, he struck out, I believe. Nope, no, he did not strike out. But it is once again Eloy Lopez playing at short. Going to hit that to left. And it's going to go all the way back near the track. A warning, and it'll be caught. Nicely done, as that is Phillips, who had trouble earlier. This time he redeemed himself, as that was a nice catch over his shoulder, and actually was trying to make sure he didn't run into the wall as well for out number 1. So deep enough, though, was still the first out. Runner on first and 1 out. So second one is going to be Fuentes. Up as he was showing bunt, but instead will be a steal taken by Herrera. Uncontested. So that gets him to second. Bunt attempt for Fuentes. And it is now 0-1. First one goes to strike, goes across for the strike. Bunt, and this time he is able to get it right over to the pitcher. Gadsden gets it to first, and it is in time for out number 2. Of course, that is over to Kesner, who is covering first base. So nice bunt, but didn't quite make it. Did make the get the runner over to third. Herrera is now at third. Out number 2, as it'll be once again Quintilla, going to be up next. Able to get walked. We'll get that first one for a strike. So 2 outs, 1 on at third in scoring position, and pitcher on right now, a little high, as there's a fly around here as well. Thought that'd be, of course, that's one of the problems you have when you're kind of outside. So 1-1 is the count. And here we go with another pitch. Up. Gonna stop for a second. And that one goes across just outside for the ball call. So 2-1 is what we've got. As we're in the bottom of the second. 2 outs, that one goes across. Nobody chased it either, so it'll be a count of 3-1. 3-1 right now. Interesting. That one goes across down the pike for a strike, as they say, and it is full count. Thank you very much for being here. Ty Friend usually covers these games, but I am covering for him today. And my name is Ron Gunter. Thank you very much for being here as we continue coverage. Last game of the season for Hobbs, and they are trying to get back into it. 2 outs, though, is going to help with 1 on, though, and Carlsbad threatening. And stepped out of the box for a second was Fuentes. Inside, and unfortunately that is going to walk Fuentes. So unfortunately, just a couple of bad walks this time around for the pitcher. This time coming up, Gus Risher. As again, in on corner. And got the left fielder out there. So left fielder out. That was a little high for ball 1. Wasn't certain about their pitcher as far as him being hitting or not. Apparently he is a hitting pitcher. That one is going to be a steal attempt at second, and that'll be out for out number 3. So got caught stealing is the pitcher, and the third out will mean that was 1 left on base. Had a total of no hits, no runs, and no errors. We go to the top of the third, and it is Hobbs at bat as they're going to try to get back into this. So far, it's still 2-0. We're going to continue coverage right here as we've got it on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7, indeed on the Facebook page. All right, we are back, and Luke Parrish, who I've seen hit a home run, is up to bat. In fact, actually had one this season. I haven't kept up with him to see what he's gotten further than that, but I know he had a home run. And even though there are nobody on base, of course, he would love to get that going as he is the first one batter on top of the third. Quintilla is on the mound. Going ahead and deliver that one. It's going to be foul to the right, or sorry, left. just foul. Probably would have been going straight over to third baseman anyway, but nevertheless, a foul for the first. Still in the first rotation of the bats for Hobbs. We'll get out of it before the inning's over. Here we go with another delivery, and it's going to be hit this time. Same situation, or maybe not. Let me see. Nope, it is foul, but again, a little closer, but not as much as it needs to be. And that'll be bringing up strike 2. So a long strike on that foul ball to the left. That is Gus Rischer's area, as well as it was Kozert for him at third base. Swung on, missed, and unfortunately, 3 up, 3 down on that one will be the first strikeout again for this inning, and actually overall will be the third for Carlsbad. So back up will be Carson Phillips, last one in the order, and will be playing left field. Going to see what he can do with his bat as the sophomore gets the first one. Swing on a miss on that one. Nice cut, just didn't connect with anything. 0-1. Here we go with that one, and this one's going to be hit. Connection is going to happen, but it's going to be fouled as it fouls off to the right behind us. So he is making contact so far as they're getting a little more aggressive. And I expected to see that with the bats trying to get something going on. Inside, does hit it, and will be a blooper over to third. Is he able to get that in time? It is not, so it'll be a 5-3. And Carson Phillips unable to get to first before the out, second out of the inning. So, center fielder Juan Camacho coming up next, top of the order, and we'll see what he can do with the bat as he struck out the first time around. So yeah, 2 outs, nobody on, and the first one goes across. A wild pitch, doesn't matter though, as it'll be a ball. So Juan Camacho had 1 walk yesterday, a strikeout as well, and had 1 left on base. That one's going to be a foul ball. And will be 1-1 for the count for Juan. Had to get the ball back was Aiden. Let's see what he can do. Net needs or wants to get something going, even if it's something small. That one goes across too low on ball 2. So we're looking at 2-1 for the count. That one swung on and hits him in the leg. So he's going to have to walk that off, and I'm sure the ump is going to make sure that he's okay. Foul ball will be, and that's the insult too. It's insult and injury. Injured, and you get the strike on that one as well. So 2-2 is the count right now, making sure he's okay. And it appears he is going to be, as he is just stretching right now. And we'll get back, kind of limps a little bit. Don't blame him either. Again, hit him in the leg, and hopefully didn't hit him in the shin, but that is, I've always found that stinging on the bone to be hard to get over. Gets back in, it's going to be at the far end of the box. Get as close as he can to the home plate. Crowd it. Here you go with the delivery, and swing on and miss. A little early on that one, I think, is the problem. Nevertheless, though, it'll be a strikeout and a third out as well. And that'll be the total of so far. Let's see, we've got 1 in each inning, 2 in this one, so it'll be 4 strikeouts for Carlsbad as we go to the bottom of the third. And unfortunately, it is a 2-0 game, as it was basically no hits, no runs, no errors, and we left on base. And so far, Hobbs has left 2 on base in this game. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs America Network. You know, the HobbsAmerica.com. We also have it on YouTube under the Hobbs Sports banner. And yes, we have it on Cool 95.7 on Facebook. All right, we are back to action as it is Carlsbad coming up. Gus Risher is going to be first up, left fielder for the Carlsbad Cavemen. And we are underway. Bottom of the third, it is still a close one, 2-0. And see what Jackson can do in the first delivery. Gets that going to be hit. And that is going to go to center field, just left of it. And looks like that'll be caught. A can of corn for that one, first one out for the fly ball out. And that'll be for, I believe, Parrish. No, sorry, Camacho. Parrish is on right. Camacho catches that one easily as it's hit right to him. Didn't have to really adjust too much. Coming up next, as we have our first out, will be Terry Collins. First one goes across for the strike. That's right. That one goes across for the slider and a strike 2. So 0-2 already for Terry Collins, as once again Jackson seems to be getting a little warmer and being able to find his spots with the throws. That one a little outside though, may have trying to get him to chase, but nevertheless though, 1-2 is the count. Gaston has had 1 strikeout, no, 2 strikeouts so far in this game. That was all in the first. So the count is 1-2. Here we go with the delivery. Just inside, but swung on it anyway, and it's going to go deep to left field, and no problem caught by, once again, the sophomore. That'll be Phillips. So 2 outs already as 2 fly outs. And coming up next is going to be Wade Kozert. Carson Phillips, once again, like I said, sophomore, doing well over there in left field. Getting some more action than he may have expected, but definitely making it the most of it. As the next up, Kozert gets the first one, going to deliver it right over to first, and it'll be a quick out as Cole Kesner is able to tag the bag for the third out. So for the first time in a little while, we've had 3 up, 3 down for Carlsbad. As no hits, no runs, no errors, and we left on base. They had 4 already in this game, but none in this one, as so far we're continuing on with a 2-0 lead for Carlsbad as continue on. The district champs are going to be playing defense. Your Hobbs Eagles will come up next to see what they can do with their bats. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. We're also on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube under the sports, Hobbs Sports, of course. All right, so far this game has favored the Hobbs Eagles, but of course we've also seen this happen just last night where it was a 2-0 game before Carlsbad slowly widened the spread as far as the lead. We were able to get a little more ahead until it was a 6-0 game in the end. Nevertheless, though, first one up is going to be Montez. And the first pitch is going to come across low for the ball. Once again, that is going to be Kristen Montez, the senior. So first one goes across for the ball. Swing and a miss on that one, just a little off on the speed of the ball, as that one goes to a strike for 1-1. So Montez with 1-1 for the count. That one just goes a bit outside for the ball, ball 2. So first time up, he did walk, but he was caught at second trying to steal. That one gets hit. No, actually that was off a hit. That's right, not stealing. This one's going to be just outside, maybe either way, caught. And it will be, looks like, by the second baseman. Actually, no, it'll be first baseman who caught that one for out number 1. So that caught by, once again, Molner. And one down as we get up next. It's going to be Jaden Hernandez. And actually, that's right. It was part of a 5-4-3. That was what took Montez out in the first inning. That one is going to be low, and actually it's going to hit him in the foot near the foot. And that is, I believe, the first hit by pitch for Carlsbad. So getting him to first, and one and down on that one. So coming up next is going to be Jackson Gadsden, the pitcher. So the catcher on that one gets hit, and looks like there's going to be a pinch runner. And I didn't see who it was, so do apologize about that. But he is over there. And now has a leadoff. So we're about to get a swing and a miss on that one for strike number 1. So far, like I said, Gadsden there. So Carter with the call, and going to go ahead and go back to first in time. They've done that before as well for Montez. Oh, sorry, Hernandez. Hernandez on base. So 1 out, 1 on. Just trying to get that second freebie out. Just couldn't quite do it. So once again, pitcher on for Hobbs, trying to see if he can help his cause as he gets this one, and it'll be infield, but unfortunately right over to second, and that'll be Hernandez able to pitch or get that one without hardly even moving. So out number 2, that's coming up next will be Cole Kesner. Cole up, he had a quick 4-1 infield out in the first, as that was going to be hit high. And it's going to go into the outfield just barely and be caught easily by, that is going to be Herrera. So unfortunately that leaves 1 on base. That's 3 so far total for Hobbs. No hits. Let's see, maybe there was a hit. No, there wasn't. As that one goes out for 3. So no hits, no runs, no errors. 1 left on base, 3 overall for this game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Hobbs still trailing by 2. Defense is going to be coming up next right here as we continue coverage on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. All right, we are back. Coming up next, first one up, bottom of the third. And it's going to be Wade Kozer, designated hitter. Sorry, that's Molnar. Molnar gets that first one across, and that's going to be a strike. Oh, that's right. Do that. So first strike, second one, check swing on that, and looks like it'll be safe. So he got his bat to stop before it went across the line. Will be 1-1. Goes across, it'll be out of the zone for ball number 2. So 2-1 is what we've got looking at right now for the first batter. That is going to be the first baseman. And out for ball number 3. So unfortunately did not quite get that to chase and is having some trouble with those last 2 pitches, but we'll see if he can find the zone in this one. Usually that's what happens after a couple of bad throws. You get back into the game, got to get on it, or could be a walk. That one's going to be hit as it goes across and will be left field caught. Nicely done once again by the sophomore. That is going to be Phillips.
Pitcher number 14, Jaden Carter.
Are you trying to get crazy with this thing? Don't you know I'm local?
So Jaden Carter coming up next. And that'll be left center. It looks like a dive, and was he able to catch it? No, in fact, it goes to the wall. So tried to get it was Phillips once again, and unfortunately that'll be a double for Jaden Carter. So 1 out though, 1 on in scoring position at second. Looks like we've got a runner for them, and that'll be Nick Sandate. Going to be on instead of Carter. Ricky Herrera is coming up next. Ricky was able to get a walk, but left at third. Also able to get a steal at second. That one goes across and will be ball number 1. So 1-0 is the count. And that one goes across, did not find the corner, and will be ball number 2. Stands in front of us, and from what I can see, got a nice little crowd here as the ball game continues. Wind a little harder as it goes and gets hit up the middle. Will find a shortstop, but unfortunately, instead of being able to throw it to first, may not have been in time anyway. Loses the handle, drops it, but is able to pick it up, keeps him to first, so that'll be a single for Ricky Herrera. So looking at the bases, it'll be third and first. So once again, runners on the corners, as it is going to be the pinch runner, who is going to be Nick Sandate. And coming up now will be the top of the order, Eli Lopez. Lopez has, last time up, flew out to left. So here it is, and a bunt opportunity, and it's going to go right over to first. He's going to go ahead and throw it to third, and maybe he didn't because it wasn't anybody there covering third, and ended up getting stuck because he didn't have time to get it to home as he wanted to originally, and instead ends up having to keep the ball for that single, RBI single for Elo Lopez. So coming up next is going to be Fuentes. So we've got 3-0. 1 out, I believe. Yes. That one goes across for the ball. So Fuentes up. That one goes across as well. Low, handled by Hernandez, and luckily nobody advances from that wild pitch. Could have been a wild pitch. So far with 5 hits, it is going to be Carlsbad 2-0 as he hits this one. And this one going to the left. Is it going to make it in time? No, it isn't going to be over the wall for the home run, and that'll be for Fuentes. That'll be Gus Fuentes. So smacked it off to left field and gets 3 runs to come across. So I think they were just waiting to see if they can get something going with their bats. 6-0 is what the score is already, as we had that score last night as well. But with 1 out and nobody left on base, it is going to be the pitcher who is reaping the rewards on that hit. Going to be coming up next. But a nice bomb once again to the left. It ducked out of the way, as you can see, and it'll be a ball. So 1-0 and throw again. That time it'll be catching the corner for the strike on the other side. 1-1. So quickly though, as Jackson Gaston gets that one, that's going to be hit foul to the left. And it'll be already a count of 1-2. So Gaston ahead of the count against the pitcher for Carlsbad, Quintilla. And inside for the ball. So definitely getting faster throws for Hobbs, but just trying to get out of this inning so far though with 1 out, nobody on. And just had a home run just dinged a moment ago. That one's going to be hit to the left as well. It seems like left is where they're going mostly. Phillips is able to get that bouncer, 2-bouncer, and that means a single for Quintilla. And I believe that is his first of the game, as before he had been walked. So a 6-run lead for Carlsbad now has them looking a little comfortable, but still, they never let down. I think that's one of the reasons why they are ranked at number 4. Coming up next, though, it's me, Gus Risher, and last time he was at bat, flew out to center, or just near center, was caught by Camacho. So threatens back at first, gets him in, gets the runner to go back. Of course, that is the pitcher. Still challenging. So with all these runs that we'll go ahead and steal second, or try to. I throw well in advance. And yeah, just a no doubt about that one, was caught stealing for out number 2. I mean, that was an out by a country mile. The delivery across, though, gets it to that one's going to be a strike as well. So we've got a count of, I believe, 2-2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go ahead and double check with the ump. He's going to give us that count. 0-2, actually. This one's going to be hit, and it'll be going to center. Camacho looking to get it, and he does. As that one goes to and out in the center field for Camacho. So Risher again out from a fly for the 3rd out as well. And that doesn't help, though, as far as stopping the runs, as it already happened with 4 coming across off that home run as well. 2 hits, looks like. And 1 left on base. Want to double check? Nope, none left on base. No errors and 2 hits. We are going to go to the top of the 5th. And this game is flying as we continue on, but Hobbs still wanting to get into it. They still have a chance. 6-0 0 is the score. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7. Please share this. All right, we are back, and it is 6:08. We've been playing just for an hour now. And we're already in the top of the 5th. Coming up next is going to be Jason Fuentes. Let's see what he has done in the first at-bat. That was a walk. Left him at first. Going to be high on that one for ball number 1. Didn't drop or anything, so, and Fuentes did not flinch. That time, though, did hit it, but it will be foul to the right. These bombs that Carlsbad has been hitting are on the to the left-hand side, so that's keeping the left fielder Phillips definitely busy as he has been on his toes for most of this game. Nice slider, though, goes across for the strike. 1-1 is the count. Actually, 1-2 is the count. Blah. Swung on and foul. No change in the count as it is goes to the backstop, and it'll be 1-2 once again, or continue to be 1-2. Nobody on, no outs as we are in the top of the 5th. Thank you much for being here. I am Ron Gunner, taking over for Ty Friend, and we are halfway through, or over halfway through this game. Last one of the season. This one's going to be hit, and it's going to go to the right. Oh, past third base and shortstop. Going to go to the outfield, and that will be a nice hit. Single for Jason Fuentes. So a good start for Jason and for the Hobbs Eagles. Need to get some bats going. They don't have to get all 6 of them back, but they would like to get a couple of them to get this one a little closer, as they are currently still on the bubble for the playoffs. And if they get a win on this one, would definitely improve their opportunity or their chances. Coming up next is going to be first pitch of ball for Tristan Montez, playing at third base. So back to it. It'll be first ball with 1 on, no outs. Montez, Tristan inside, and that'll be ball number 2. Moved out of the way a little bit, did Tristan. That is a good thing as it went across. 2-0 is the count. Hobbs again wants to see what they can do with their bats. Still playing like it is a mid-season. And hopefully they're having fun just like the basketball team did. Third one is going to go across. No way of being a strike. So ball number 3. And some of these seniors, this could be their last game of their career. But still, though, they got to play like it is there's no tomorrow. That one is going to go across. 4 balls in a row, and that's going to add up, ring up to a walk. He's going to take first base, and that'll put Jason Fuentes at second with no outs. 2 on. So I think this is the first time that Hobbs, well, actually not the first time, but so far they haven't gone that deep, and now it's going to be a pitching mound meeting. I don't think they're going to change. I think he's just making sure that his pitcher is okay, as he's had so far 4 solid innings of pitching and pretty much had limited the bats against this Hobbs Eagles team. We'll come back and we'll go ahead and continue to keep him there. Of course, that is Mike Magaha. He knows how to win. He's got 4 years of district champs on this team. It was 5 years ago when Hobbs had it last. So once again, we got The next batter up will be Luke Parrish. Luke unfortunately struck out in the first time up, I mean, which was actually the third inning. Now we're in the fifth. Throw back to second, I mean, and that is going to be in time as it was Fuentes. Not really a big leadoff. Now looks back, goes in, delivers, and across, and there'll be a slider for ball one. So Luke trying to see if he can continue on. Could get a nice, if he gets a nice hit, could get an RBI. High ball on that one. Thought about swinging, but did not, luckily. And Luke Parrish is looking at 2-0 for the count. So 2 on, no outs, and one of the best positions so far that the Hobbs Eagles have had in this game. This one's going to be hit, though, and fouled backwards towards us. So it'll be 2-1 for the count. Coming up after him will be the sophomore Carson Phillips. Carson had a infield out first time up. So Luke Parrish once again trying to see what he can do with his bat. High ball once again, did not chase that one. Will be 3-1 for the count. So at the very least, could be a possibility that if he walks, we'll load up the bases for the sophomore Carson. But one pitch at a time, as we all say, right? One pitch at a time, one day at a time. As we just whop on our feet. Here we go with the delivery. After looking back to second. Oh, inside, and yep, definitely going to be a walk and a ball four. Almost was going to be hit by a pitch. Either way, result would have been the same, and that puts Tristan to second now, and Jason Fuentes will go to third. So bases loaded, no outs. And coming up next is a dream for any hitter. It'll be Carson Phillips, the left fielder who has been tried and tried again by these Carlsbad batters. And if he can get something to go yard, and that'd be 4 for the Hobbs Eagles. Right now, the first pitch outside. Actually found the corner, and that'll be a strike for Carson. Strike one. So it didn't swing on that one. Looked like it was a bit outside, nevertheless, though. Let's see what happens next. Oh, going to go ahead and get it packed. And caught him sleeping, unfortunately, as that was going to be Tristan Montez, who gets caught with that throwback to second. In any case, that'll be out number 2. Or actually out number 1. That's right, out number 1, so we've got 1 out. That is an opportunity, though, that Hobbs had and now is lost. First and third, though, men in corners, and swung on, and it's going to be hit to just left center. And it's going to be down, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. That means 1 is going to score, and 2 are going to score as he gets that standing double for Phillips. So nice 2 RBI double as it puts across. Could have been 3, but nevertheless, or at least 2 anyway, at the very least. Fuentes is going to come across, as well as the Luke Parrish at third. Or is he going to be... So actually, I think that was, no, there was 2. 2 come across so far. So with 1 out, coming up next is going to be at the top of the order once again, Juan Camacho. First one, though, is going to be fouled off for the strike. So again, things going fast as we have a runner at third. And so, yeah, that definitely would clear the bases. And that goes far left for the ball. So that means that, unfortunately, Tristan wasn't able to score, but Parrish did from his position. So it's Fuentes and Parrish as Carson Phillips gets all the way to third off a double. So the second one is going to be a ball, or that one is going to be a ball. So 2-1 is the call right now. Got one on, one out, and scoring position, and that's going to be fouled off. 2 and 2 now for the count. So feels a little cool outside, so that's kind of a concern, but I think we'll be done before the weather gets ugly. That one does not find the corner. I thought it might have for a second there, but instead we'll ring it up to full. 3 and 2 with one out, one on, and third. And it is going to be Phillips, who was dying to get home to get another run in for the Hobbs Eagles. This one's going to be hit to the left, and it'll be a 5-3 as that one is hit straight over to third base, and that third base was covered by Kozert. So 5-3, and that is the third out for Camacho, unable to get anything going with his bat so far. But it still leaves one more opportunity at least. That's coming up will be Montez. Christian Montez is going to hit this one foul. It'll be out of play. But the runners are the Carlsbad still trying to get to it, just out of play. So we've got that hit for foul. 0-1 for the count. That one goes across and will be low for the ball call. So 1-1 is the call. In fact, actually Montez walked in the first, and that's the only time he's been on base. Would love to do it again, at least get on base. That one's me just in the zone for the strike. 1-2 is the count right now. That one almost a swing, and it looks like he was. Just barely got his bat across the line, as that will be strikeout number 3. So unfortunately, he thought he got at the bat back in time, and that's what happens, as it is one left on base. 2 do come across, and it'll be 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it is a slightly better game for the Hobbs Eagles, as we have a 6-2 with 4-run lead for Carlsbad. But they're coming up next with their hot bats. Want to see if they can get more on as the defense for Hobbs approaches and gets on the field. We'll be back in a moment with more right here on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. We also have you on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on Hobbs Sports Network. So yesterday it was a Carlsbad doubleheader for Hobbs. As first it was Hobbs, and then Hobbs JV also played, and it was a similar score, 6-2 for the JV as they lost to them by 4. Hobbs, of course, as you know, remember, lost 6-0 to Carlsbad. But right now, though, not being blanked, and at least that is something to be able to hang your hand on, as this number 4 squad, number 1 in the standings for our district, as they are district champs as well. First one coming to bat will be, it's like Collins. That'll be Tanner Collins, of course. And that first one is going to be, well, that'll be a strike, because that first one was a ball. Oh, strike 2, I'm sorry. That's 2 of them were strikes. So let's get back at that. And Tanner Collins 0-2 count. That'll be outs or inside over his head, just a bare little bit air, and count of 1-2 now for the call. Couldn't quite get it inside again. Looked like it was going to be a wicked curve or a slider, but instead adds up to a ball. 2-2 is the call. And tried to find the corner in that one once again, did not. It was going to be on the outside, trying to change it up a little bit on the location of those pitches. Right now it is going to be 2-2, and actually it's going to be a full count of 3-2 for Tanner, and that'll be a nice strikeout for strike number 3.
Number 10, Wade Kozar.
Got to make sure, though, that I do believe we still have the same, we still have the same pitcher. I wanted to make sure about that as that first one goes across for out number 1. So right now it is hit already, and it's going to go into right field. Oh. And it is Parrish who was able to catch that one. And it was a can of corn for him for out number 2.
Number 9, Jonas Molinar.
So up 1 and done was Kozart. That's coming up next is going to be Molnar. So 2 up, 2 down so far. And it's going to be ball number 1 for Jonas. So 1-0 is the count right now. Had a bit of a conference, and getting back to his position is the umpire, talking to the catcher as well. So far, I'm showing 7 hits for Carlsbad and 2 for Hobbs. So that one goes across for the ball number 2. 2-0 is the count. Here we go with the delivery again from Gadsden. Just off 3-0. I'm going to see if this is going to be a stretch or it's going to be, it looks like since he's not chasing, could be a fastball down the middle for a strike. And it is just on the corner actually, but nevertheless it is a fastball delivered with precision and will be put in at 3-1 for the count. That one's outside, lost a little bit, and will be ball 4.
Number 14, Jaden Carter.
So Jaden Carter up now with no outs, and sorry, 2 outs. 2 outs and 1 on. There we go, Jaden Carter. And he had a double in his last time up. Also struck out in the first. So there's a meeting in the mound right now. Going to see if we're going to get a change in pitch or not. So we'll take a break, be back in a moment. We'll continue coverage right here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. Team showing confidence in Jackson, and Gadsden is still on the mound, or at least a little while longer. His pitch count is a little high, but still not in a danger zone yet. So Jayden Carter once again coming up. And we'll get that delivered for, looks like the strike. Yes, indeed, went across, and no swing, strike number 1. 0-1, 1 on, 2 outs. Swung on, and looks like that was a check swing, but it got across the line, just like it happened for Hobbs, 0-2. So now Carter's going to protect the plate as he's got 1 runner on first. 2 outs though. Goes across and swing. Nope, no swing. A strikeout as it goes across the pike for a strike. Nice one done as it hit the corner of the far side. And that'll mean 1 left on base. 5 left so far for Carlsbad. 5 opportunities missed, but on the other hand, it is going to be Hobbs coming up as it was no hits, no runs, no errors, and one left on. Actually, one hit is what I should say. One hit, no runs, no errors, one left on base. We go to the bottom or the top of the sixth now. And now we're not in Hobbs. We're going to go ahead and get that top of the sixth. 4-run lead for Carlsbad. Hobbs coming up to bat to see what they can do. Keep their bats hot. And we'll keep it hot right here on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page, and on HobbsAmerica.com. So far, Gaston almost pulled, has 2 strikeouts in the first and 2 in the fifth. That closed it out, actually, with the 4th strikeout for him in this game. And we are sitting at 4-run deficit, 6-2, and it is a tight game against the number 4 squad, known as Carlsbad came in. Of course, they're also known as the district champions. Coming up first is going to be Hernandez, Jaden Hernandez. And no pitch change so far for Quintilla. And the first one goes across for the ball. So again, this is a game that could have been played on Friday, but instead, because of the weather threat, it is being played right now. 1-1 is the count as that one goes across for the strike. No swing. And here comes pitch number 3 as that one gets hit. Foul, or is it? Actually, it's going to be fair, and it's going to go to right field. And he's able to catch that one. He was in the perfect position, just had to move over just a little bit. And that was Richard Herrera with out number 1. Fortunately, that's the problem sometimes when you hit one high, is all I have to do is just get underneath it. As long as the sun isn't in the way, then you've got an easy out, and that definitely was. So Gadsden coming up next. Trying to see what he can do once again, as he has not been able to get on base. Inside, and as he ducks that one, that'll be ball number 1. Hope you're having a good one out there. As the second delivery is going to be swung on and missed. That'll be strike 2, or actually strike 1. 1-1 now for the count. So nice cut on that one for Gaston. Just could not make contact. I think it might have been a little early if anything else. So swung on, and that one missed as well. Looked like it was a little low on the swing for the 1-2. So 2 in a row swung. And now Gaston has to protect the plate if he wants to continue or try to get on base. And that one's going to be fouled right back to us. And probably would have been low, but still looked pretty 3D on that one. That one looked nice, but nonetheless, so at least kept him alive with that foul. 1-2. Inside, and man found the corner anyway with the slider, and that'll be strikeout for out number 2. That'll be 1, 2, that'll be the 5th one for Carlsbad. So 2 outs, and already on the Cole Kesner trying to come up to try to see what he can do, as he has 2 outs on his account. Wants to get better at his batting, get the average up, you know, and also get on base, and hits this one hard. And it's going to go to center. Looks like he's going to find the gap, and it's going to hit off the wall as well. Could not get it in his glove, and ends up being a long double for Cole Kesner. That was Risher, Gus Risher, who had to field that one. Could not quite get it in handle. And a faster runner would have gotten a triple, but instead, Cole Kesner still gets the double to start off the 6th inning. And that's a good start. Actually, continuation, as we've had 2 outs so far. So 2 outs and 1 on right now. I get excited sometimes. I am sorry. Coming up next after Cole Kesner is going to be Jason Fuentes, the shortstop. And that one's going to be hit quickly and up the gap. And that actually could score Kesner if he's running, and he is. And it's going to score Kesner. So that'll be a single RBI single for Jason Fuentes. And one less run to have to overcome. 6-3, just a half lead now for Carlsbad. The last 2 innings, though, Hobbs has been able to make the most of their bats, and it's still 2 outs, though. So coming up next is going to be Tristan Montez, the lefty. He's going to hit this one, and it's going to go right, and it could find the gap as well. Let's see as they are converging on it. No, it does not. He's able to get underneath it in time, and that is going to be Richard Herrera once again with heroics and able to get that 3rd out. But not before one does come across. That'll be Cole Kesner. And 1 left on base. So we had a total of, let's see, we had 1 hit, 1 run come across, no errors, 1 left on base. That has been 2 so far for Hobbs. Actually, no, that'll be 5 left on base so far for Hobbs. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th, and we have 1 more inning to go. But right now, Carlsbad still at the bat. Be back in a moment right here as we continue coverage on Cool 95.7. We're also on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube under the Hobbs Sports banner. All right, we are back as once again Carlsbad's up and trying to see what they can flex with their bats. They have not been able to get anything since the 4th inning, not that far back, but nevertheless, though, have the lead of 3 still after having a 4-run in the 4th. So 4 in the 4th has helped them with this lead as we get the first delivery, and that looks like it is Gadsden once again. I'm going to double check though and make sure, but definitely looks like it is Jackson Gadsden. Yes, indeed. So Gadsden still up as first one goes across for the ball. And this will be hit by Richard Herrera, or Richie. And that's going to bounce in front of, unfortunately, that'll be Camacho. And that'll be a single for Richie. So that is his 2nd single in a row in this game, as that gets a runner on at first. Coming up next will be the top of the order once again, Eloy Lopez. So bottom of the 6th right now, 1 on, no outs. Gadsden still on the mound as he throws that one across. Finds a corner for the strike number 1. So nicely done as it continues to show some impressive mojo on his throws. Get another one again. That one almost in the same spot it looked like, but a little low. So it'll be ball 1. 1-1 is the count with 1 on and 1 out. Oh, no outs, no outs. Slider on that one is going to find the strike call. So 1 and 2 is the count. 1 on. Here we go again, and a swing and a miss, and actually that was fouled, maybe. And will be a foul, so just barely caught it on the bat. So it'll continue to go for Eloy Lopez. So with that 1-2 and a swing and a miss, and that'll be strike number 5, looks like, for Gadsden. So some are saying he may need to sit down for a moment, but he is still proving that he is worth being out there. And that is actually just actually out number 1. So first out of this inning, bottom of the 6th. Got one on right now still at first. Coming up next is going to be Gus Fuentes. Fuentes had a fly out and has been on base just one time with an error to get the score started in the first. So first one delivered, want to be a ball. And that one does find it inside. Nicely done, thrown, and inside too hard to hit, but a strike nevertheless. 1-1. You got to throw it up a little bit. He's been throwing inside, outside, and keep the batters guessing. That one is going to be hit. And that'll be foul ball back, so that'll be strike 2 as it comes this way. So 1-2 for the count, and I think Fuentes is throwing a fantastic game so far. It's just unfortunate that the bats haven't been as hot as his arm, but sometimes that happens. Of course, he's also, you got to give that credit to the pitching for Carlsbad. As that one gets yanked to the left, and just in time, nicely done. I thought he got it, but instead it'll be over his glove, go to the wall, and be able to get a double on that one, as that was kind of thrown off a little bit, but nevertheless it would have been a double anyway for Gus Fuentes. So gets it off the left once again, and again, that's another hit to the left, and another double for these Carlsbad Cavemen. So coming up next is going to be the pitcher, Quintilla, as he had a single in the last at-bat in the 4th. That one goes across for the strike. As that goes on, first one strike once again. That one goes across for a strike. Nice call as it goes just out, and I think it was thought that was going to be a ball, but instead, once again, call is a. So he swings on that one, goes to the left once again. This time it's going to be a dive. Oh, didn't catch it again. I thought he got that this one this time, but instead Camacho is going to be able to get it into play, but not before a runner comes across, and looks like that'll be a triple for the Fleet of Foot pitcher. So instead of being an out, as it could have been, it is a triple, RBI triple to be exact. So it extends it to 4, 7-4. We have one more inning to go after this one. And if Hobbs isn't able to get back into it and tie the game at the very least, it will be over at the top of the 7th. But for right now, though, it is all about, let's see, it looked like that was Herrera who scored on that one. And there will be a meeting on the mound. Looks like this time we are going to get a change in pitching. So we're going to take a break, be back in a moment as we get everything ready for the game still going on. It is 7-3, a 4-game lead, or 4-run lead for the Carlsbad Cavemen, as they are number 4 in the rankings, and Hobbs currently ranked at, I believe, number 18. Yes, indeed. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. All right, we are back. Hayden Leeper is now the pitcher for your Hobbs Eagles, number 12. As Leeper gets into relief, it is 1 out once again. And it is going to be the first pitch for, oops, hit that one. There we go. So Gus Risher on right now to bat. Oh, and gets hit in the back. And that is unfortunate, as it just could not get control of that one, and does hit him to put him on first. And now bases loaded on the corners, first and third. Coming up next is going to be Collins. So Tanner Collins is going to be coming up next, and he is a senior this year, so last hurrah for the season before they go into playoffs. Collins is 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Does have a strikeout last time up. First pitch is going to find the corner for the strike on that one. And that is going to be strike 1. Oh, that's right. There we go. One yep. On the corner, swing on and miss on that one, strike 2. As we are again 1 out. Looks like the JV squad has wrapped up their game, and unfortunately it was end in 5 as Carlsbad was able to get the Mercy Rural victory with a 12-2 win over the JV squad. So JV Carlsbad beat JV Hobbs 12-2. 1-2 right now is what we've got the count on. That one's going to get hit to right, and that is going to be over to Parrish. Once again, able to get that in time, but because of the deep hit, it'll be a sacrifice fly, RBI sacrifice fly. It will be out number 2. So it does increase the increase it back, as they have pretty much been able to answer what Hobbs did. And actually, it's showing 9, so I'm going to go with 9-3. That could have been, let's see what we got. So that was a 2 RBI single. Richard already taken off and going to go ahead and get first. And got that in time. So over to second now off that steal. And it'll be Kozert now, who is at bat. Looking at a 1-0 count. That one goes across, and we'll find the strike zone for strike number 1. Nicely done, as Kozart has had problems getting on base. Outside, though, well outside. And luckily, though, that was Hernandez is able to get to it without it being a wild pitch. 2-1. Gus Risher at second, and I believe, once again, like I said, I think that was a 2 RBI. Oh, and actually, that's right. That's what we're missing, so there it is. So we've got the count at 3-1. And will be ball 4, unfortunately, and that'll walk him. So able to get on base with the walk. So Jonas Molinar is going to be up next. He is the third baseman. Molinar has had a single and then walked last time up. Also had a fly out to left field, where Phillips was able to catch that one. So runners on the corners once again, I believe, or first and second actually is where they're at. I thought maybe he had advanced, he did not. That one goes across, slider for the strike, strike one. So once again, it is Leaper who is on the mound right now, relief pitching. That one goes across for the ball, 1-1 is the call. Leaper pretty much started just moments ago, running out of this inning, and now down 6 once again. But Hobbs was able to get 1 run in the top of the 6th and 2 runs in the top of the 5th. That one's going to be low, though, and that'll be ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Looks like it'll be 6:50 here in a second. As looks back to second. Nobody on to be able to get him out anyway, as that one goes to a full count, not full count, but 3-1 for the count. So missed that one for a strike 2. Full count once again for Molinar. Let's see what happens as we've got 2 on and 2 outs. Yes, indeed. As that one gets yanked to the left and foul. Hard to tell, there's a wall in the way, but definitely a foul ball on that one. So it keeps Risher alive. As we get back into position. Full count, 2 outs, 2 on. And with this lead, could be the last at-bat for Carlsbad. That one's going to go outside. And another walk once again. So many walks, or too many walks, have been hindering Hobbs trying to get back into this game, as that goes Risher to third now. And it should be Kozert to second. So bases are loaded once again with 2 outs, and it is going to be Jayton Carter, who struck out last time up. So if we can get that, bases loaded again, that would be at least 8 runners left on base for Carlsbad. First one goes across, nicely done for a strike. So Carter swung on and fouled for strike number 2. So quickly down on the count is Carter, 0-2. Leaper, though, still getting some good throws across as he's in relief pitch once again. And that'll go across and will be, find the gap. That'll be 1-2. And he's going to try to go for a double. He's going to go ahead and run as he continues on. Looks like he went out. So that's a basically a 3 RBI double for Carter, as he steals to third. So actually, yeah, there is now, instead, with this 6 runs, it is 1 away from the mercy rule, and if it does get there before we get to the top of the 7th, this could be the game right here, as right now the score that we want to avoid is at third, and of course that is going to be Carter. So coming up next is Ricky Herrera. Comes across as a strike, first one. So Ricky Herrera up for the 2nd time in this inning. Going to get that delivered, and it's going to be hit, foul. So 0-2 already. But again, it all determines on whether we can get the 3rd out or not. If not, if it is, then we go to the top of the 7th. And either way, Hobbs is going to have to get a lot of runs to be able to get at least tied if they want to try to get this win. Swing and a miss on that one. third drop strike, and it's going to go over to first. And oh my gosh, that's going to be the game as Cole Kessner was not able to get that throw. So instead of being a third out and top of the seventh, instead it is going to be a run scores. And that, as we catch up with this, will be the game on a third strikeout, drop third strikeout that could not be caught by Cole Kessner. So an error, 83, is going to once again end this game. And unfortunately, it does not go the way that Hobbs wanted it to, as 7 runs come across in the bottom of the 6th.
Stick around as we honor our seniors today.
As it was, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits, 7 runs. And that is the game, boys and girls, as Hobbs drops both of their games against Carlsbad, and that is going to be the season for them once again. We'll talk about that more in a moment as Carlsbad goes to 21-5, 6-0, of course, in the district. They already had district champs tied up, and Hobbs unable to get a victory here. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. All right, we are back as the 5A champs once again. Carlsbad wins that one once again in a mercy rule inning. We almost thought we were going to get into the 7th inning, but instead that nice little walk-off third strike drop that happened and was thrown to first. Cole could not get it in time, and is the third out. Or not the third out, but the run comes across for the RBI as well, and that does end the game once again, 13-3. And man, oh man, confusion is, like I said, we were expecting to see one more inning, hoping to see the bats come alive once again, but unfortunately, that is not the case. So for this, it'll be once again, let's go ahead and honor our seniors because this was their last game possibly. They're ranked number 18. It's going to be an outside shot that they'll be able to get in the playoffs. Of course, Carlsbad does have it locked up. Where they're going to fall in the standings in the end is up to the people who do that sort of thing. But for the moment, it is going to be thank you very much to Jackson Gaston, who is a senior, who, of course, pitched most of this game, along with Christian Montez, senior as well. We also have thanks to the rest of the team as well as, well, that was it. Of course, this is a young team. That means that they have the opportunity to be able to come back next year and see if they can do a whole lot better. I have a feeling they will. Final record for them, of course, is going to be 8-18, 10 wins under, 10 losses under, and it'll be, I wrote 10. So it'll be 2-4. Not sure what's going on with Roswell and Clovis, but nevertheless, though, 0-8 away is their record. So that is going to be putting an end of it, and for all of us right here, for Tiffany Stuber, Evie, and as well as TJ Miracle and Ty Friend, who would have been calling this one, but unfortunately wasn't able to. I am Ron Gunter, who took over, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed the coverage that we had for the limited amount of video that we could get in there. I want to thank you for watching, and thank you very much for supporting the Hobbs Eagles as we had a good season this year. And it'll be, well, like I said, we're going to see what happens in the playoffs, but hopefully, for the most part, I know these guys have enjoyed themselves and will remember these memories for years to come. Thank you very much for being here, and I'm Ron Gunner once again. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day as we're on Cool 95.7 Facebook page, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.